One of the most haunted mines in Alaska is Independence Mine at Hatcher's Pass, high in the mountains of the Alaska Triangle. An experienced ghost hunting team has been conducting a thorough investigation, trying to reach out to the spirits.
We didn't seem to find any unusual electromagnetic activity. However, the spirit box seemed to be responding to us. Normally it makes a bunch of gibberish sounds, but there were some distinct words that did come out of the box. It was just kind of difficult to understand exactly what it was trying to tell us.
Back at Independence Mine, guide Christy Short is preparing to view the same footage from the ghost hunting team. With a good knowledge of the mine's history, if anyone can make sense of the words from the spirit box, it will be her.
Is there someone in the room?
Looks like they're in the bunkhouse.
Teacher.
Teacher? Whoa.
Lake.
Lake?
Out.
Out?
Out?
Net.
Net. I heard net.
Send her out.
Send more help.
Light. Run.
Okay, so what I've heard so far is teacher, outside, net. Send more help, wine, drunk. The hair on my head is standing up right now. This is so crazy. So I'm sitting literally in the teacher's desk. There were 2 teachers that taught here when the mine was open. There was Mr. Brown, and Mr. Brown, his demise is really sad. He actually, during the summertime, went to a fish trap and he died. And there was the second teacher that was here, and his name was Mr. Dickey. And Mr. Dickey, he got caught under some ice and drowned. So both teachers that were teaching here at the mine died. I'm a little freaked out right now. Oh my God, I'm shaking. Oh.
Christy's been shaken by what appears to be references to the 2 teachers, but nothing has prepared her for what comes next.
Help.
What's your name?
No. What? Oh my God. Here, wow. Actually hearing that? We have to go upstairs. We have to go upstairs. Oh my God. Oh my God. This is crazy. Right here on the wall, it says Holiday. He died July 1st, 1941. That's really intense, actually. Why am I crying? So, yeah. I don't know anything else about Mr. Holiday, but I know that this is here.
The writing on the wall reads, Holiday, July 1st, 1941, died in the bullpen.
Like, I'm shaking and like the hair keeps standing up on my head and on my arms, and I know I'm not cold. I'm wearing like 2 pairs of pants and 3 shirts. That's just bizarre.
It's thought that Mr. Holiday died in this very room, known as the bullpen, possibly after sustaining an injury. The inscription on the wall was written by his fellow miners as a memorial to him.
Oh, that's crazy. That is crazy. Oh my God.
It sounds far-fetched, and obviously it's impossible to prove. But some of the results of these spirit boxes are extraordinary. This is Alaska for you. This is where the paranormal comes alive. And Independence Mine just epitomizes the weirdness that goes on in the Alaska Triangle.
The journey begins in Dayton, Ohio, over 2,000 miles from Alaska. It's a center of the defense and aeronautical industries. It's also home to former Army Chief Warrant Officer Doug Muchler. For 15 years, Doug worked in U.S. counterintelligence.
Counterintelligence agent, investigated espionage terrorism against the United States.
In 1989, Doug was posted to Fort Richardson on the outskirts of Anchorage, Alaska. He had no idea then of the bizarre journey he was about to embark upon.
When I arrived in Alaska in '89, in September, first thing you do is orientate yourself to your AO, area of operation. So I went and got some maps. So when I was putting the maps up, there was this one area. It was whited out. This area not surveyed to date. And I'm looking at the whole of Alaska. I mean, that's a big place, and it's all been surveyed, except this one area.
Doug was used to working on a need-to-know basis. But a few years later, an extraordinary event magnified his suspicions.
Move forward to 1992. I was sitting there watching TV in the orderly room, and there's a news program on. And they're talking about the detonation of a nuclear device in China. Part of the story was that geologists used that detonation to get a better picture of the crust and mantle of the Earth.
The news report stated that the explosion was so great that it sent shockwaves underground through the fabric of the Earth. These shockwaves traveled over 4,000 miles all the way to Alaska, where they were picked up by earthquake monitoring stations. By analyzing these waves, scientists could tell the density of the rock they passed through. And they detected what appeared to be an enormous subterranean structure, shaped like a perfect pyramid.
They said in Alaska, a pyramid was found, larger than the one in Giza.
Doug set his VCR to record the nightly news report he expected about the pyramid, a repeat of what he had seen on TV earlier. But there was nothing. Doug knew he hadn't imagined the story, so the next day, he went to visit the local TV station that broadcast the news item to ask if he could see a copy of it.
I said, I don't know what you're talking about. We had no story like that.
The station manager denied broadcasting any such story.
They didn't know what I was talking about. That was it. That don't make no sense to me.
But before he left, Doug was approached by a more junior employee who had some astonishing information for him.
She'd said 2 guys came in and took the tapes. I was stumped.
2 men who were unknown to the employees had confiscated the tapes. There was only one conclusion Doug could draw.
I thought, oh my God, they are burying it.
The years went by. Then, eventually, in 2012, he reached out for help. Linda Moltenhau is an investigative journalist based thousands of miles away in central New Mexico. Then, in 2017, Linda received an email that contained some extraordinary revelations.
I got an email from a woman who has requested to remain anonymous, but she was having remote viewing experiences. And she said to me that she felt she was going out of body at night and that she was going into Alaska, that she saw structures that might have something to do with my dark pyramid investigation.
Perhaps the most dramatic testimony that came out of her out-of-body experience, her visit to the pyramid psychically, was the fact that the guide, the leader who was taking them down to look at the pyramid, was not human.
She had a clear understanding that it wasn't human. It was a humanoid in charge, but it was not Homo sapiens sapien.
Now, for the first time, things begin to fall into place. There's an alien connection. The Dark Pyramid is super advanced alien technology, and they have humans working on it with them. Having made another appeal for help on her website, investigative journalist Linda Moulton Howe had a breakthrough.
A retired Navy captain got in touch with me and sent me maps and photos, a whole bunch of them.
At first, the reason was unclear, but one small patch of ground was highlighted.
There is a rectangular patch. It's much different than the surrounding, and it's geometric. That's what I've been looking for, anything that would be geometric, because nature doesn't work in 90-degree angles.
Could this be the site of the Dark Pyramid? Armed with this new information, Bruce Pearson, son of a key eyewitness, is going to try to find the pyramid. And he's enlisted the help of experienced bush pilot Eric Rovey.
So the coordinates you gave me are right out here. Okay, here we are in Healy, a little more than 100 miles away. This is Denali National Park. It's about the same size as Vermont, New Hampshire. So we're gonna cut across the outer range and basically head straight out and see what we can find. Let's do it.
We're gonna rig a plane up with a number of cameras so that we can document anything that we may not see with our eyes during the actual event. I think it's important to note that where we're going is probably one of the most remote places in North America.
Then, Eric spots something.
Looks like kind of a clearing over here to the right that might be, yeah, let's go over to the top of that and see what it is. Kind of interesting. Look at how squared off that looks. It's very straight lines on that far.
Yeah, it is. It is. That's pretty interesting.
That's pretty amazing. That is, it's unusual to say the least.
It looks like an old man-made clearing. Could this be evidence of what was once secret underground activity?
Go back over that spot again. Yeah. That's not natural. That is not natural.
There's nothing on the map in this area, and there never has been. The nearest road is nearly 100 miles away. But next, something even more astonishing. An overgrown airstrip. This old airstrip is unknown even to Eric, who's been flying all over the Alaskan bush for 20 years.
Not clearly evidence of human occupation or activity. I'm fascinated, man. I mean, I never thought we were going to find something like that.
This evidence is new. It's clear that something at some time was going on here. Right in the area given to Linda Moulton Howe as the location of the Dark Pyramid.
I was shocked and pretty psyched to find these types of pieces of evidence that are real evidence. This is not speculation or we think it looks like it.
Everyone's heard of the Bermuda Triangle, but there's another place on Earth more remote and even more curious.
I've always had a fascination with the Bermuda Triangle, but when I started to look into the Alaska Triangle, that started to really make my skin tingle a bit.
And at the heart of the Alaska Triangle lies an ominous, foreboding mountain peak standing 14,000 feet high. More people have been to the top of Mount Everest than have scaled its icy slopes. But it's not the peak that's drawn the attention of UFO investigators. It's what lies beneath.
Are aliens abducting people in Alaska and experimenting on them? Or are they working to get rid of anybody who gets too close to Mount Hayes? Could this be the reason that over 16,000 people have gone missing in the Alaska Triangle? An alien base inside of Mount Hayes could explain all these strange occurrences. I mean, it can't be a coincidence that it's right in the center of the Alaska Triangle.
Curiously, a secret government project might lend credence to the theory. In the 1970s, the US recruited psychics to spy on the Soviet Union.
Project Stargate was started in 1978. It was based at Fort Meade, Maryland, and it was a collaboration between the US Army and a research institute based in Stanford, California, SRI, the Stanford Research Institute. Stargate was about locating individuals who had the ability to see or hear or somehow sense occurrences well out of their physical sensing range.
Probably one of the most gifted remote viewers was a man named Pat Price. He was a Burbank police officer who showed exceptional gifts and talents in this area.
But on one assignment, Price was psychically drawn away from his intended target by what remote viewers call an attractor.
An attractor can call a viewer to it because it is more interesting. You might be drawn to the noise, the fire, the emotions at the site that pulls a remote viewer to it.
Price's attractor was Mount Hayes. There was something going on there that he felt compelled to go and investigate. And what he found there was totally unexpected: an alien base. It's possible that what he saw could provide a clue to the thousands of disappearances that have taken place in the area.
One of the things Pat Price discovered up in Mount Hayes was there's this strange device with all these cables dangling down from it. Price believed that this was some sort of atmospheric monitoring device.
But this was just the start. Next, Price traveled psychically inside the mountain.
Pat Price remote viewed Mount Hayes, and he saw a deep underground extraterrestrial base.
There was a secret underground alien base at Mount Hayes.
And Price was even able to get a sense of the aliens themselves. Super advanced humanoids, hard at work, deep underground. UFO investigator James Fox and bush pilot Eric Rovey are now heading straight for Mount Hayes. At last, the towering mass of Mount Hayes looms into view.
Oh my God, we're flying right towards Mount Hayes right now. Oh my gosh, that is absolutely surreal. That is colossal. I'm looking down for any indication of artificial structures, vents, doors, ports, anything that would indicate civilization. So far, I see nothing but vast wilderness as far as the eye can see.
The sheer vastness of that location, if there was something to hide, that would be the place to do it.
Without a scientific survey of the inside of Mount Hayes, it's impossible to know for sure if the alien base exists. For now, it remains a secret.